He wanted to give his sister the world for her graduation. The problem? All he had was a single pair of shoes. But this wasn't just any pair, it was the last gift he ever got from his father. What this 10-year-old boy did next is a story about a love so powerful and a sacrifice so deep, it might just leave you speechless. This is the story of Leo, and an act of kindness that proves love isn't measured by what you have, but by what you're willing to give. If you believe in the power of selfless love, please take a second to like this video and subscribe for more stories that touch the heart. In a small, quiet town lived a family that mostly kept to themselves. There was 10-year-old Leo, his older sister Maya, and their mum, a tight-knit circle of 3, bonded even closer after their father passed away a few years back. Their home was modest, filled more with love than furniture, and kept afloat by a mother who worked tirelessly at the local diner, the long hours etched in the lines around her eyes. Maya was about to do something incredible: graduate high school. She was the first in their family to reach this milestone, and she was a beacon of hope for her mum, and most of all for Leo. He absolutely worshipped his sister. He saw her studying late into the night, helping their mum without being asked, and always having a tired but gentle smile just for him. Graduation was approaching fast, bringing a mix of excitement and anxiety. Downtown, in a little dress shop, a simple but elegant white dress seemed to be calling Maya's name. It wasn't flashy, it was just perfect. Maya would often pause by the window on her way home, her reflection laying over the dress for just a moment, a dream she knew was out of reach. She never said a word about it, but Leo saw the longing in her eyes. He saw the little sigh she'd let out as she turned away. He knew their mum's budget had no room for luxuries. That dress was a beautiful dream, and for them, it felt like that's all it could be. One evening, Maya came home and announced, with a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes, that she had found the perfect solution. "I'll wear Mum's old blue dress," she said, pulling a faded dress from the closet. "It just needs a little mending. It'll be special." She tried to sound cheerful, but Leo, sitting at the kitchen table pretending to do his homework, saw right through it. He saw the flicker of disappointment she was trying so hard to hide. Graduation was supposed to be a day to feel proud and beautiful, and he knew the faded blue dress felt like a compromise. Later that night, Leo snuck out of his room for a glass of water and heard his mother's hushed voice. She was on the phone, her words heavy with worry. "I know the payment is late," she whispered, her voice cracking. "I'll have it next week, I promise. It's just with Maya's graduation. There's nothing extra." The call ended, and Leo heard a soft, muffled sob that pierced his heart. Suddenly, he understood. The dress wasn't just a dress. It was a symbol of everything they were struggling against. In that moment, a quiet resolve settled over him. He tiptoed back to his room and opened a small wooden chest. Inside lay his most prized possession, a pair of dark brown leather shoes. They were worn, but they were sturdy, and he always kept them polished. They were the last gift his father ever gave him. "These are good shoes, son," his dad had said. "They'll take you far." They were his last real link to the man he missed every single day. Holding them, he could almost feel his father's hand on his shoulder. And he knew what he had to do. The next day after school, Leo's steps were heavy but determined. He clutched a cloth bag to his chest, the weight of the shoes inside a painful comfort. He walked right past the park where his friends were playing and headed to a small, cluttered repair shop run by an elderly cobbler named Mr. Mendez. The shop smelled of old leather and polish, a scent that always reminded him of his father. Mr. Mendez looked up over his spectacles. "Well, hello, Leo. What can I do for you?" Leo hesitated, then slowly pulled the shoes out of the bag. I want to sell these," he said, his voice barely a whisper. Mr. Mendez picked them up, his skilled hands inspecting the leather. "These are fine shoes, Leo, and well cared for." He recognized them. He had helped Leo's father pick them out years ago. These were your father's gift, weren't they? Leo just nodded, a lump forming in his throat. He ran his fingers over the worn stitching one last time. "Why sell them, son?" the old man asked gently. "A boy needs a good pair of shoes." "It's for something important," Leo said, staring at the floor. "It's a secret." Mr. Mendez saw the fierce determination in the boy's eyes and knew this wasn't just some childish whim. He was watching a sacrifice in the making. He named a price a fair one, probably more than they were worth, and by some small miracle, it was the exact cost of the white dress. Leo's eyes widened with relief. He took the crisp bills with a trembling hand, gave the shoes one last look, and hurried out of the shop, his heart torn between loss and a new sense of purpose. That evening, a plain cardboard box appeared on their doorstep. Inside, nestled in tissue paper, was the beautiful white dress. Attached was a small card that read, "For my beautiful sister, you deserve this." When Maya found the box, she gasped. She lifted the dress from the tissue paper, her eyes filling with tears of disbelief. "Mom!" she cried, running inside. "Look! I don't understand!" Her mother was just as stunned, thinking it must have been a kind neighbor. From the doorway, Leo watched, his heart pounding, his secret safe. He had never, ever seen his sister look so happy. Graduation day was bright and sunny. Maya was radiant. The white dress was perfect. As they were about to leave, their mother straightened Maya's collar, beaming with pride. "You look so beautiful, my love." Then her eyes fell to Leo, who was nervously shifting from foot to foot. "Leo, where are your shoes?" she asked, her brow furrowing. "You can't go to your sister's graduation in those old slippers." Leo's face flushed. I couldn't find them," he stammered. "I think I left them at the park." But just then, a familiar figure came walking down the street. It was Mr. Mendez. He stopped when he saw the family, his gaze landing on Maya in her stunning white dress. Then, he looked down and saw Leo's feet in tattered slippers. The pieces of the puzzle clicked into place. He approached them slowly and tipped his hat to Leo's mother. "Ma'am," he said, his voice gentle but clear, "you have a very special son." He looked right at Leo with kind, knowing eyes. "He came to my shop a few days ago. He sold me his father's shoes." He paused, then nodded toward Maya. "I didn't understand why at the time, but now I see." A heavy silence fell over them. Maya's joyful smile slowly faded as she looked from Mr. Mendez to her brother. Her eyes went from Leo's pale, anxious face down to his slippers, and then to the beautiful white fabric of her own dress. The truth hit her like a punch to the gut. "Oh, Leo," she whispered, her voice choked with emotion. Tears streamed down her cheeks. They weren't tears of sadness, but of overwhelming love for her little brother. "Your shoes. Dad's shoes." In that moment, she didn't care about the dress anymore. She knelt right there on the pavement and pulled her brother into a fierce hug, burying her face in his shoulder as she sobbed. "You shouldn't have. You shouldn't have." Their mother stood frozen for a second, her heart aching with sorrow for her son's sacrifice and soaring with an immeasurable pride. She knelt and wrapped her arms around both of her children. There, on the sidewalk, they clung to one another, a family held together not by what they had, but by how much they loved. Maya walked across the graduation stage that day with more than just a diploma. She walked with the warmth of her brother's love in her heart. Every round of applause felt like it was for him. Her pride wasn't just in her own achievement, but in the incredible young man cheering for her from the crowd, his socked feet a silent testament to his love. The next morning, another box appeared on their doorstep. This one was smaller. Leo opened it. Inside, resting on tissue paper, was a brand new pair of dark brown leather shoes, almost identical to the ones he had sold. A small note was tucked inside. It read, "For a boy with a heart bigger than his shoes. A friend." Leo knew it was from Mr. Mendez. As he slipped them on, they felt different. They didn't carry the memory of his father, but they carried something new, the proof that a loving sacrifice is never truly a loss. This story is a beautiful reminder that true strength isn't about what you own, it's about love. It's measured in the quiet sacrifices we make for the people who mean the world to us. The greatest gifts don't come from a store, they come from the heart. If this story moved you, please share it to spread the message of selfless love, and don't forget to subscribe for more tales that inspire and uplift.